Hello and many thanks for joining us. It is the midweek edition of Aso Briefing. I am Rosemary Ukokotega. Sincere apologies for coming your way a little behind schedules. Our top stories. IGP reveals arrest of 26 suspects behind Yelwata killings in Benue State. House Committee orders NAFDAC to disclose fines collected from defaulting traders. Again, House Committee vows to tackle insecurity challenges in Plateau State and across Nigeria. You're watching Aso Briefing. Watch us live on GSTV 392, StarTimes TV 127, Free TV 507 on the UHF band on channel 38. Down to details of all our stories. The Inspector General of Police, Mr. Kayode Egbetokun, has announced the arrest of 26 persons suspected to be masterminds of the killings in Yelwata, Benue State. The IGP, addressing journalists in Abuja, said the police were on the heels of other suspects who participated in the Yelwata killings that led to the death of 47 persons. He assured Nigerians that the police are not overwhelmed as they are mopping up light and small weapons illegally acquired by some persons. Egbetokun added that the police are also intensifying its border patrols in order to curtail the influx of irregular migrants into the country. The IGP added the arrested suspects will be arraigned in court soon, including 22 suspects who were arrested in Jos over the gruesome murder of 9 persons traveling to Kwampan for a wedding. IGP Egbetokun clarified that 28 persons were initially arrested, but 2 have been cleared as they were only used as bait to arrest the 26 suspect masterminds. The arrest followed President Bola Tinubu's Wednesday order that service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police arrest those behind the dastardly act. In a related development, the ad hoc committee of the House of Representatives, mandated to convene a special security conference on the security challenges in Plateau State and beyond, has stated its resolve to profile lasting solutions to the insecurity challenges across Nigeria. The ad hoc committee, chaired by Mr. Ahmed Wahid, made a statement during the committee's inauguration on Tuesday in Abuja. He noted that the security challenges in Plateau State have persisted for far too long. The lawmaker said the committee, in consciousness of citizens' frailty, will work collaboratively and diligently, leading with empathy and courage. The committee said it will engage with various stakeholders, including security agencies, traditional rulers, community leaders, civil society organizations, youth and women groups, researchers and political actors, among others, to finding a way forward. Still from the Green Chamber of the National Assembly, the House Committee on Food and Drug Administration and Control has directed the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, to submit details of all payments of fines collected from defaulting traders of fake and substandard drugs in an operation carried out against open outlets in the country. Acting chairman of the committee, Mr. Uchenna Harris Okonkwo, gave the directive when the Director General NAFDAC, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, appeared on Tuesday over allegations of extortion of traders by the agency at the Onitsha Bridge Head Market. Members of the committee raised concerns over the agency collecting the sum of 700,000 naira from thousands of traders in Lagos, Anambra and Kano states where it carried out its operations. The committee's chairman said though the committee appreciated NAFDAC's efforts to clear fake drugs from circulation in the Nigerian market, it nevertheless had received several petitions from various stakeholders on recent investigative activities carried out during the general investigative operation on open drugs outlets in Lagos, Anambra and Kano. The NAFDAC DG, represented by the Director, Investigation and Enforcement, Pharmacist Shaba Mohammed, and the Director, Southeast NAFDAC, Dr. Leon Obi Martins, said of the 700,000 they were collecting from traders, 500,000 naira was for poor storage practice and 200,000 naira was for the unregistered products which were found on them. The NAFDAC boss said there were some violations that have not been implemented and that open drug markets across Nigeria are illegal and pose serious health risks to the public. According to her, the operation, described as the most extensive of its kind since 2007, was launched on February 9, 2025 and was prompted by both local complaints and international pressure over the prevalence of counterfeit drugs traced to Nigeria. In the conscious quest to further strengthen the cultural rights of the aborigines of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, the Helpline Social Support Initiative has launched an 18-month project plan to train 100 vulnerable women and youths in traditional attire production. Obidane has the report.
The project is a continuation of the first phase implemented in 2021. According to the organizers, it has successfully trained and empowered about 200 vulnerable women and youths in the skills of traditional attire production. While delivering his brief, the project manager, Mr. Onoja Arome, called on stakeholders to empathize with the aborigines of the FCT and join the project in order to create a lasting impact that will benefit future generations.
Remember that the decree to turn their ancestral homes to the nation's capital in 1973 led to the OIs having to relinquish their ancestral land for the development of the nation's capital. This led to scattered indigenous people, loss of economic trees and farmlands, thereby causing high unemployment rate among the OIs. However, with the intervention of Makato Foundation through CRESED, some of these impact stories we hear today were made possible.
Organized according to the 9 tribes that makes up the FCT, some of the tribal coordinators expressed frustrations and utter displeasure at the continuous erosion of their unique cultural identities occasioned by the displacement of aborigines away from their ancestral lands.
Every Nigerian have 2 houses, while an FCT person does not have even one. Some people will tell you that they've compensated us, go back to the record. Before the establishment or before the compensation, there are supposed to be a court of justice. That is a tribunal that's supposed to settle between the federal government and the indigenous people because of that lack of education. Were there anyone? And if there is, we are waiting for the record. And if there is any person they compensated, let's go back to the record if there is.
We've been fighting that we really need a representative among us in the federal executive council members. With this, today we have a minister who is representing us at the federal executive level.
Supported by the MacArthur Foundation through the Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education, CRESED, the project seeks to preserve cultural heritage while equally guaranteeing some financial independence for beneficiaries. Daniel Obi, Aso Television News.
The governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Dauda Lawadari, has emphasized that youth empowerment is a strategic necessity for economic resilience and long-term development. He stated this at the University of Abuja's annual Distinguished Personality Lecture Series. Our correspondent Abdullahi Mukhtar from that area completes the story.
Dr. Dauda Lawadari, Executive Governor of Zamfara State, highlighted his administration's effort to empower youth, including flagging off a skill acquisition training program for over 1,000 people with a goal to empower 45,000 youths by 2027, introducing vocational subjects in all schools and renovating over 500 schools to benefit over 1 million youths.
This in addition to introduction of vocational subjects in their curriculum so that students can graduate and be self-reliant or even employees. All this and more that we are doing in Zamfara State is designed to make over 1 million youth benefit from various training programs.
The Zamfara State Governor shared his vision for guiding the Gen Z towards sustainable development.
The underlying vision should embody the need to empower these citizens to become active contributors to the country's development or sustainable development, drive economic growth, social justice, as well as environmental protection. And the key areas of focus for the framework should encompass, first, education and skills development.
The acting vice-chancellor of the University of Abuja, Professor Patricia Mankola, beamed with joy at the caliber of distinguished personalities in attendance. Meanwhile, Professor Mitula Olosopo, Dean of the Faculty of Social Science, highlighted the faculty's activities and contributions, and also provided insight into the Gen Z demographic and their significant role in the digital world.
You are blessed to have these special people to come and inspire you, to empower you, to survive in this generation.
Gen Z is known for its strong opinion, digital fluency, desire for open-mindedness, and self-expression in both personal and professional settings.
The lecture series featured keynote speakers from various fields, including former ministers Alhaji Sani Zangon Daura, Hajiya Zainab Maina, and members of the National Assembly. The event also included the presentation of awards to distinguished personalities, with Dr. Dauda Lawandere receiving the Pillar of Youth in Nigeria award. The Zamfara State Cultural Troupe added color to the event. With the theme, Youth Empowerment and Sustainable Development in Nigeria, a guided template for the Gen Z. Abdullahi Mukhtar, Aso Television News.
Coming up on Aso Briefing, on the foreign scene, ECOWAS Parliament launches mission to tackle substance abuse, plus other stories. Do stay with us.
Because we did not listen, the young maiden is dead.
Nana, come here. Hi. Why do you speak so freely with a stranger from Ajan?
We were just talking about offering a Jiggy seat on the council.
You got to be praised. Never knows Elko Sisi. He has 2 wives. So why are you making it look like it is a big deal?
You're watching Aso Briefing. Watch us live on DSTV 392, StarTimes TV 127, Free TV 507 on the UHF band 38. We go ahead with other stories. In recognition of the critical needs of child and maternal health, a charity organization, When in Need Foundation, WIN, and Every Life Matters Humanitarian Foundation, ELIM, has announced a medical outreach to cover around 2,000 children in the FCT. Founder and Chief Executive Officer of the foundation, High Chief Dr. Chetachi Ekton Nwoga, who made the announcement during a news briefing in Abuja, said the gesture is in memory of her late mother, Ezinne Priscilla Chinyere Nwoga, who lived a life of sacrifice for all during her lifetime on earth. The medical outreach is holding on the 5th of July at the Gariki Primary School here in Abuja. Here is the report. The first year of life of every child is seen as critical. No wonder the World Health Organization, WHO, emphasizes the critical importance of infant health, particularly during the first year of life. WHO's recommendations focus on essential newborn care, appropriate infant and young child feeding practices, and ensuring access to quality care throughout. The planned gesture by the founder and CEO of the When in Need Foundation, WIN, and Every Life Matters Humanitarian Foundation, ELIM, High Chief Dr. Chetachi Ekton Nwoga, could not be better described than a response to the call to action by the World Health Body, WHO, to cater for infant health. Dr. Chetachi said while the mission plans for 2,000 children between the ages of 0 and 12, mothers as well as people of older ages who make it to the venue would be well catered for, not just with medicines and supplements, but foods and other essentials.
We are not going to neglect their mothers as well. So, I have made a provision. Not only are we going to warn the children, check out who has malaria, we also and will also provide food.
The host of the event, His Royal Highness Chief of Garki Alhaji Usman Ngakupi, his counterpart, His Royal Majesty Igwe Samuel Asadu Ogadagi, and others at the briefing described the act by the Win Foundation and Ellen Foundation led by Queen Mother High Chief Chetachi as humanitarian service which should be emulated by all.
And I also want others. This is a challenge. It is an assignment to all of us, especially those who are having their needs. Those who have a little, but to share it, their act is teaching us, or the family is teaching us, when you have a little, share it with their neighbor.
We have to look at the other side of the country, where everybody don't get it. So the value is cannot be measured and cannot be understood. It has a triple effect. Because all of us here are going on this like outside here with a huge game-changing formula, game-changing mind to love the environment and to love yourself. And I appreciate the good things that
Late Ezine Priscilla Unwoga, in whose honor the medical outreach is being organized, died at age 85. As her burial is being planned by family and friends, her daughter, the Queen Mother, High Chief Dr. Chetachi Hector Unwoga, hopes that her legacy lives on. Rosemary Kokotega, Aso Television. The Director General National Youth Service Corps NYC, Brigadier General Olakunle Nafiu, has appealed for more support for the scheme in Rivers State. He made the appeal when he paid an advocacy visit to the sole administrator of the state, Vice Admiral Ibok Ete Ekwe Ibas, at the Government House, Port Harcourt, the state capital. General Nafiu, who commended the state government for its notable assistance to the NYC Rivers State Secretariat, informed the administrator that the state's orientation camp requires additional hostel accommodation to cater for the increased number of corps members being deployed to the state. The NYC chief executive disclosed that the corps population had grown to the point where the scheme now mobilizes an average of about 400,000 corps members annually, which means that the allocation of corps members per state had naturally increased, necessitating the upgrade of camp facilities, including hostel accommodation. The Director General said he had visited almost all the orientation camps and could confidently rate the Rivers State Orientation Camp Auditorium as the most sizable and modern one among all the ones visited. He commended the state government for availing the scheme of such an edifice. The Rivers State Administrator, Vice Admiral Ibokete Ekwe Ibas, expressed readiness of the state government to assist the NYC formation in the state by augmenting the feeding of corps members during orientation exercise as well as their monthly stipends. He further promised to look into the request to upgrade the camp facilities, especially the hostel accommodation for corps members. Widows. We go ahead with other stories. As part of activities to mark the 2025 World Widows Day, the Caleb Danladi Foundation has extended a hand of support to over 100 widows in Samban, Gida, Jaba local government area of Kaduna State with cash donations and free medical services. Speaking during the outreach, the founder and chief executive officer of the foundation, Captain Caleb Danladi Bako, said the gesture was aimed at showing solidarity with widows and tapping into the blessings of their prayers. Here is a report by our correspondent, Sobura Usman.
Caleb emphasized the importance of uplifting widows and promised that they will be given priority in the foundation's upcoming skill acquisition center set to be commissioned soon.
Our core objective is about widows. We focus more on widows because widows tend to be the vulnerable. There is nobody to speak to them. There is nobody to stand for them. In the community where we grew up, I found a situation where the widow was forcefully ejected from her home when I was small. And growing up as a child, I've seen a lot of challenges widows pass. A lot of them always come to my father seeking for one help to the other. And because of that, I've been motivated to help widows. Even though my mother just began her widowhood 3 months ago, but it's just growing up in a community where there's a lot of inequalities. That's what motivated me.
He further encouraged the widows to enroll their school-age children in his foundation pilot back-to-school education program designed to support out-of-school primary school pupils of less privileged individuals.
You know, health and education are the key areas of human development in any society. So we plan to enroll those of them that we have not previously enrolled in the Kaduna State Contributory Health Insurance Scheme, so that they should be able to address health challenges. If you look at them, some of them that we had discussion with before, they mention issues of complication, and this complication arise because of self-medication and relying on traditional medication. But by enrolling them into this contributory health insurance scheme, we will ensure that the issue of self-medication and relying on traditional medication is over.
In a goodwill message, the Vice Chairman of Jaba Local Government Area, Mustapha Danladi Babaladi, commended the initiative, describing it as a step in the right direction towards addressing the plight of widows in rural communities. Earlier in his remark, Mr. Aliu Solomon urged the widows not to be disheartened by their condition. The Secretary of Ekwa Kwai DCC, Reverend Dr. Galadima Yakubu, applauded Captain Bako for his compassion and vision. He called on well-meaning individuals to emulate his example by supporting the less privileged in the society. The event featured free medical checkups, consultations, cash support, and interactive sessions with the widows, allowing them to voice their concerns and hopes. World Widows Day is observed globally to highlight the challenges faced by widows and to rally support for their empowerment and inclusion.
The Nigeria Immigration Service (NIS) has received a boost in its migration management capabilities following a strategic meeting with the Dutch delegation led by Mr. J. Bartelink, Church the Affair of the Embassy of the Netherlands. The meeting aimed to deepen migration cooperation between Nigeria and the Netherlands. A statement issued by the Service Public Relations Officer Assistant Controller of Immigration ACI Akinshola Akinlabi said the Netherlands handed over critical operational resources to the NIS, including Edison software license keys and the passport examination program manual. The Dutch government, according to the statement, reaffirmed its commitment to supporting Nigeria's migration governance and border security reforms. The Dutch delegation, which included Mr. Rob Bokhoven, Director of International Affairs, Repatriation and Deportation Services, Ministry of Justice and Security, emphasized the importance of sustained cooperation in addressing global migration challenges. The Controller General, Nigeria Immigration Service, Kemi Nananandap, expressed appreciation for the Dutch government's consistent support and technical assistance. The received software tools are expected to significantly enhance the NIS document verification and border management capabilities, supporting the implementation of Nigeria's national migration policy. The partnership between Nigeria and the Netherlands is expected to advance to shared goals in migration governance, border security, and international cooperation. The Chartered Institute of Project Managers of Nigeria has assured of its commitment to ensuring sustainable growth and development of nation through project management practices while inducting training new members. The management in Abuja during the induction and the opening ceremony of a 3-day training program urged the new members on the need to translating the vision into realities for the good of the country. Business correspondent Ile Emeje has details.
In what can be described as a call to service for the newly inducted members into the institute, stakeholders of the institute, including the chairman, governing council, Chief Emmanuel Olabode, and the Registrar General and Chief Executive Officer of the CIPMN, Mr. Henry Ifeanyi Mbadiwe, have skills development, planning, methodology, and effective collaboration for an impactful growth.
I can assure you, very short time, ensure that all of us come together to be part of the success story. of the nation. It's called best. We're doing this for the benefit of the nation. We're doing this to ensure that we build the profession. We see less abandoned projects. We see less delays on projects, less costs, resource wastes on projects. And we begin to see value being delivered to Nigeria.
Other stakeholders commended the institute, saying an efficient project management system is key to developing adequate infrastructure, while pointing to collaboration.
We are collaborating with them to train our project managers. We also want to undertake some projects in the airport. We have areas of collaboration with them to train our project managers to make sure that whatever is being done in terms of project management is done in line with the approved standards and all best practices.
We have learned the experience for 63 years and they are 7 years. But there are new things we could learn from them. And there are things they could also learn from our experience. It's really, really nice that in 7 years, CIPNL has gone this far. We actually wish them the best as they progress as an institute.
With the coming of a body like this, I was glad to find that professionals, those who are entrusted with activities of executing project managers, they now have a body that will ensure and supervise whatever they have been assigned to do, whatever they have been paid to do.
They said project management is not just a tool, but a regulatory authority to promoting best practices. Ile Emeje, Aso Television News.
Now, away from the shore of Nigeria, the ECOWAS Parliament has launched a sensitization mission in Sierra Leone aimed at strengthening regional cooperation against substance abuse and mental health. The delegation met with various stakeholders, including government ministries, parliamentary officials, and the law enforcement agencies, to discuss the growing concern of substance abuse in the country. Director General and Ambassador at Large, Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Alan Logan, appreciated the leadership of the Parliament. Speaker of the Sierra Leone Parliament, Sagepo Solomon Thomas, on the critical issue. The delegation engaged with relevant agencies, including the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency and the Ministry of Health, to outline strategies and challenges in combating substance abuse, especially cash. They emphasized the need for joint regional responses, sustained legislative attention, and cross-border coordination to address the issue effectively. The mission will continue with outreach to community actors and a town hall engagement in Freetown. Oh, well, and that's it on Aso Briefing this midweek. Stay tuned to Aso TV as we, in any moment from now, be linking you to our outside broadcasting service as the Minister of the FCT, Barrister Nyesom Wike, continues another round of project launching. My name is Rosemary Ukokotega.